Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Mic check 1. It's gonna be loud in here. That's just my normal voice.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2
So
3.
I can hear you. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You're good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Cattlemen's Congress. We are ready to get started with your Supreme Drive. Welcome to Oklahoma City and welcome to the Jim Norick Arena. At this time, I would like to introduce Anna Kelsey from Tecumseh, Oklahoma. She will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
A new endeavor means a fresh start, a clean slate, and one we can make our own. A year ago, we started something to fill a void. Today, it's turned into something that's here to stay. You asked for it, and we delivered. When we started this, we started it as cattlemen putting on a show for fellow cattlemen and women. Today and always, that will hold true. It's your connection to commercial cattlemen. It's your annual reunion to catch up with friends and family. This is the largest and most elite cattle show the world has ever seen. This is your show. For this is the gathering place for the entire industry. This is a new tradition. This is Cattlemen's Congress.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cattlemen's Congress. We are excited to get started with our Supreme Drive. We will be starting with your junior females. Just a housekeeping note to everyone sitting in the stands, how we're going to handle our Supreme Drive. We have 3 judges this evening. Those 3 judges will be selecting their top 5 animals. Once they select their 5 animals in no particular order, we will have as few as 5, as many as 15 heifers back here in the ring. The judges will then evaluate them again. They will then rank those animals in order. The animal with the lowest number of points will be your champion. Let's go ahead and meet those champions. Your champion, American Aberdeen, exhibited by Jarrah Schoenfield of Oakley, Kansas, TCS JH Miss CC. Your grand champion percentage, American Aberdeen, DVRF Miss Juanita J5 PLD, exhibited by Connor Summers of Lindsay, Oklahoma. Your grand champion, Angus Female, was exhibited by Houston Faree of Sullivan, Indiana, SSF Lady 5030. Next in was your grand champion, Black Hereford Female, Anna's Legacy, exhibited by Chloe Mack of Canida, Oklahoma. Your grand champion Bronvie female was JBB Kimsey 9511G, exhibited by Jose Antonio Munoz of Headley, Texas. Your grand champion Beef Builder female, exhibited by Jalen Smith, Rosebud, Arkansas, with Miss JMS Tiva J210. Next in the ring is your grand champion purebred Charlet female, GHC KLA Sabrina 0181, exhibited by Kelton Arthur of Ripley, Oklahoma. Next in will be your grand champion percentage Charlet, FAB Chantel's Outsider 6H, exhibited by Fallon Gore of Madras, Oregon. Next in your grand champion key female SRR, Miss Monica 10HET, exhibited by Wyatt Dunklau of Wayne, Nebraska. Your grand champion key Angus female HIGG Henley 088HET, exhibited by Hallie Holt of Ipswich, South Dakota. Your grand champion key composite, exhibited by Seth Martin, Hagerstown, Indiana, with J. Saul TSSC Beth Dutton 0113HET. Your grand champion Galvey female, Breck Honey Sticks H10, exhibited by Brecken Murray. Your grand champion balancer female, GHGF Two-Step, exhibited by Cody Clary of Saluda, South Carolina. Your grand champion horned Hereford female, H Pixie 0635ET, exhibited by Blake Bruns of North Platte, Nebraska. Your grand champion polled Hereford, exhibited by Paige Lemonager, Hudson, Illinois, Boy Harley 018HET. Your grand champion limousine female, exhibited by Colton Barton of Gerald, Texas, COBN Hennessy 022H. Next in your grand champion Limflex female, Schilling Haley, exhibited by Ava Hendrickson of Westmoreland, Kansas. Grand champion Mainon Jew, exhibited by Rami Yoakum, Sapulpa, Oklahoma, with TSON BPC High Standard 1H. Your grand champion main Angus female was WEBC Hillary 01H, exhibited by Kennedy Van Zant Perkins, Oklahoma. Grand champion maintainer female, GOF Miss Dolly 215G, exhibited by Madeline Norvell of Tuttle, Oklahoma. Your grand champion Red Angus female, Lazy J Miss Hillary 021132D, exhibited by Riley Morris of Ash Grove, Missouri. Your grand champion Slayer GGT Wellers 469H, exhibited by Brooklyn Matlock of Cement, Oklahoma. Your grand champion optimizer was FFCC Glamorous Guppy 390J, exhibited by Lauren Frederick of Hutchinson, Kansas. Your grand champion shorthorn female CFCSF Dream Lady 140H CXET, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. The grand champion shorthorn plus female CF Mona Lisa 136 Primo XET, exhibited by Cheyenne Bennett of Winchester, Indiana. Your grand champion full-blood Simmental, Loughlin Sarah 119J, exhibited by Logan Smith of Roland, Oklahoma. Your grand champion percentage Simmental, CELL Trixie 0105H, exhibited by Chase Harker of Hope, Indiana. And your grand champion Simmental female, GBCXTB Hazel H03, exhibited by Pepper Elmore, Wacomas, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all of our junior exhibitors here at the Cattlemen's Congress. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our three judges for your junior grand drive this evening. Mr. Brent Murphy. Brent Murphy found his love for beef cattle as a 4-H member. Today, he now owns and manages Murphy Cattle Company in Houstonia, Missouri, with his wife, Deetta, and two sons, Cole and Ty. Their operation consists of 200 head of registered Angus, Hereford, and Sim Angus cattle. Brent has had the privilege to judge cattle shows in several states, including the inaugural Show Steer Junior National, the National Western Stock Show, Keystone International, the American Royal, and several junior national breed shows. He strives to make it a positive experience for every single exhibitor. Brent enjoys attending cattle and swine shows across the Midwest throughout the year with his family. Next up, our judge, Mr. Glenn Martin. Glenn Martin grew up in Mason, Texas, where his family roots date back to the 1860s. He attended Texas A&M University and was an accomplished collegiate meats and livestock evaluator. Glenn is married to Rayanne, and together they have raised 4 daughters throughout the ranching lifestyle. The Martin family raises competitive show goats, cattle, and Dorper sheep, and his girls have won Grand and Reserve Grand at more than 60 major livestock shows nationwide. Glenn has evaluated both breeding and market shows in 25 states, including numerous state fairs, various shows at Fort Worth, Houston, Louisville, and the American Royal. He spends countless hours helping youth excel in the livestock world throughout clinics, seminars, and his Bracing for Success camps. Glenn always promotes agriculture and educates others about the animal industry. Your final judge here on our junior panel is Mr. Jim Williams. Jim Williams is the manager of the family-owned V8 Ranch located on the Texas Gulf Coast. Jim received his bachelor's degree in animal science from Texas A&M University. Under his management, V8 Ranch has become one of the premier Brahman herds in the world, exhibiting 65 national and international grand championships, the highest number of any one ranch in Brahman history. Throughout the years, Williams and family have operated V8 Shorthorns and exhibited many champions at Denver, Louisville, Kansas City, and many state fairs. Jim has served as the president of the American Brahman Breeders Association, the American Shorthorn Association, and past board member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the U.S. Meat Export Federation, and past chairman of the Texas Beef Council. Today, Jim and his wife, Luann, live on their ranch in Bowling, Texas, have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome our 3 judges today, Brenton Murphy, Glenn Martin, and Mr. Jim Williams. Today's Supreme Champion will receive an official champion banner provided by Sullivan Supply, a custom pair of boots courtesy of Rios of Mercedes, along with a $1,000 credit to Transova Genetics. At this time, we would like to take the opportunity to introduce to you all the Cattlemen's Congress Board of Directors. Chairman, Mr. Gerald Callahan, CEO of Express Ranches. Board Member Tyler Norvell, President of OIE and the Onward Foundation. Board Member Bob Funk, CEO of Express Employment Professionals. Board Member Jimmy Harrell, President of the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Board Member Shane Bedwell, COO of the American Hereford Association. Board Member Jacqueline Upperman, Director of Events and Education at the American Angus Association. And Board Member Mr. Blake Nelson, Executive Vice President of the American Maine-on-Jew Association. At this time, we would also like to thank our generous title sponsor, the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau, along with our platinum sponsors, Express Ranches, John Deere, Live Auctions TV, Oklahoma Beef Council, Sullivan Supply, VitaFirm, and SureChamp, and WW Livestock Systems. Special thank you to those sponsors. We certainly couldn't do this show without you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you sitting in the stands, our judges are going to put in their 5 animals that they like best out of our Supreme Drive. So once those judges do that, we could have 5 animals in the ring, or we could have 15 animals in the ring. Once our judges rework their top animals, they will rank them in order. The animal that has the lowest
All right, welcome to the Cattlemen's Congress Supreme.
Their top 5. They're going to submit those in no particular order, just their top 5 heifers. They'll do a cut on that, so we could have a little as 5 if all the judges pick the top 5, or as many as 15, because you have 3 judges picking 5. So is what they're doing right now is they're going to pick their top 5, each judge, in no particular order, and then whatever's left between the 3 judges, 5, 10, 15, any of those numbers is what they'll go through and pick their champion junior heifer.
I tell you what, Dustin, this is probably one of the stoutest sets of junior heifer for a grand drive that I believe I've ever seen in person. There's a lot of really good ones out there, and I think it's going to be tough for the judges just to pick their 5. But I know all 3 guys are capable of doing it, and they're going to do a good job. But boy, I'm glad I'm not in their shoes just to have to pick the top 5, because.
Yeah, it's like most shows. There's a lot of them that could win, and then truly in this fashion here today, there is several that could go on and win, and I think these juniors have done a great job presenting their animals. I tell you what, the showmanship out here so far has been pretty spectacular. I think this is a great event. You know, there's over 10. Like I said, reiterate what Chisholm said. It'd be a pretty tough option to pick what you want to do. There's lots of ways you can go. But they'll kind of get it narrowed down to a field they'll sort among once they pick their top 5.
For those of you joining us now, there was 26 heifers eligible for this. I believe there's 20 out there. Let's run through those real quick. Starting at the little heifer with the young man in the cowboy hat is the Percentage American Aberdeen. She's shown by Connor Summers from Lindsay, Oklahoma. That is a September 21 heifer. The Champion Angus is exhibited by Houston Faree, Sullivan, Indiana. And that's a May of 20 heifer. The third heifer in the lineup is the Champion Black Hereford heifer. She is exhibited by Chloe Mack of Kenna, Oklahoma. She is a May of 21 heifer calf. The next heifer in the lineup is obviously the Charolais, exhibited by Kelton Arthur of Ripley, Oklahoma. That heifer's done a lot of good around as well. She's out of outsider. She's a March coming 2-year-old. The next heifer in the lineup is the Key heifer. She's exhibited by, actually the two heifers switched on us. The next heifer in the lineup is the Key Angus heifer, exhibited by Haley Holt from South Dakota. Right behind that is the Key heifer, exhibited by Wyatt Dunkaloo from Wayne, Nebraska. Next heifer is the Key Composite, exhibited by Seth Martin of Hagerstown, Indiana. The next heifer in the lineup is the Gelvy heifer, and that heifer is shown and probably bred by the Murray family from Omega, Oklahoma. You want to jump in here any chance you get, Dustin, you feel right up. The Horned Hereford is exhibited by Blake Bruns from North Platte, Nebraska. She's out of Montgomery. That is a August of 20 heifer. And the Polled heifer is exhibited by Paige Lemonager from Hudson, Illinois. And that heifer's done a lot of winning, Dustin. She's sired by Hoemaker. I believe she won Louisville in November, and probably some others that we're forgetting about.
Yeah, the Horned heifer was also the champion in the Open show, and I believe was reserve or won Junior Nationals this summer. Back to my left, we have
The Limousine heifer.
No, it's a Limflex heifer showed by Eva Hendrickson from Westmoreland, Kansas. Then you have your Champion Limousine heifer exhibited by Colton Barton of Gerald, Texas. And then you have your Champion Maine Anjou exhibited by Ramey Yoakum from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. And then you have the Maine Angus Grand Champion exhibited by Kennedy Van Zant from Perkins, Oklahoma. And then you have the Maintainer, which is directly right in front of us, exhibited by Miss Madeline Norvell of Tuttle, Oklahoma. And then you have the champion Red Angus, exhibited by Riley Morris of Ash Grove, Missouri. We do not have the Slayer Optimizer.
Next heifer in the lineup is a Shorthorn heifer. She's exhibited by Miller Smith from Indiana. After that is they're on the move now, but the Shorthorn Plus, exhibited by Cheyenne Bennett of Winchester, Indiana. Next heifer in the lineup is the Percentage Simmental heifer, exhibited by Chase Harker from Hope, Indiana. And the last one is our good buddy Jason Elmore's daughter's heifer, the champion Simmental, and she was also champion in the open show too, Pepper Elmore from Wacomas, Oklahoma. Really good set of heifers. This has been a great show. I've been here since last year. We moved in December 30th with our cattle intact, and there's been great event, a lot of really good activities. They had a BQA here at the Congress this year on Tuesday, same day as his base is loaded. Is that Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday, on the day that they didn't have anything going on, but we've had a lot of really good sales. Everything all throughout the week's been good. This staff does a really good job, and they're really accommodating to the exhibitors. They want you here. Like Dustin said, the Governor Stitt is really behind this. Only the second annual event last year, the inaugural, was put together pretty quick, and it's got some growing pains, and it will ahead of it, but they're working out the kinks, and this year's already been, but they moved the schedule around pretty good and got everybody in and out in a good fashion. Shows run well. Tyler and Bray and all the staff. I like to say the staff here is second to none. Bray Havens, Executive Vice President. Cass Newell is Vice President of Operations. J.D. Rossman is Vice President of Communications. And Whitney Walker is the Director of Livestock. And Aaron Dorsey is a consultant and working with the international program. Also, the Board of Directors does a really good job. This set of gentlemen and women came together last year and put this show together, and that's Gerald Callahan from Express Ranches, Tyler Norvell, president of OYE and the Onward Foundation, Bob Funk, OYE board chairman, Express Ranches, Express Personnel Services, Jimmy Harrell is OYE board vice president. He's also Bank of Western Oklahoma. Jimmy and Bob really do a lot for the juniors in Oklahoma, and they're really big proponents behind why we have OYE and why it's became such a great event. And we also have Shane Bedwell from the American Hereford Association on the board of directors, Jacqueline Upperman from the American Angus Association, and Blake Nelson from the American Maine on Jew Association. And this group really has come together and put on a first-class event just for cattlemen, Cattlemen's Congress. It's a great event, Dustin.
It has been. When you get people in line to do things that they believe in the business, and that's how they make their living, or got one getaway there. But great event, like Chisholm said. We do have a few other special sponsors, generous title sponsors, the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau, along with our platinum sponsors, Express Ranches, John Deere, LiveAuctions.tv, which we're broadcast on today. I know many of you conduct your sales on LiveAuctions.tv. Just go to their website, and you can see their sales schedule as many of us are beginning to start our spring, sale season here pretty soon. You have the Oklahoma Beef Council, Sullivan's Supply, VitaFirm, and SureChamp, and WW Livestock Systems. It takes quite an army to put an event like this on, with money and donations and countless hours of people donating their time to get this business conducted. It's easy to sit back sometimes and wonder why things, how they get done, and not everything's to a T, like Chisholm said. There's been some things as far as some power and some stuff here. Some of that is due to supply chain, not being able to get those parts and stuff to get that stuff done, but it is an order. The funding's there to do it. It's just as far as getting the supplies. I might like to reiterate what Chisholm said. It is a it is a pretty powerful show out here. I don't know which ones I'd kind of narrow it down to. I got a few in mind I would kind of narrow it down to, but it's going to be pretty tough to pick just one. I think it's that steep. You know, like I said, there's several heifers out here that not only won the junior show, but they won the open show as well, so they'll be back in here when we do that.
Yeah, Dustin, and a lot of these heifers, you know, they've done good at Louisville, Kansas City. I mean, they've been on the road for a while. A lot of them have. There's a lot of junior national champions out here. I know for sure 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 of them won junior nationals already back in the summer, and
it's certainly the best of the best out here, and that's what you would expect when you come to a national show, especially the Cattlemen's Congress. And for the second annual event, I think it's certainly in the right direction. I think people are excited to be here, and it's certainly exhibited by with the entries that were here. And like Chisholm said earlier, the sales here have been well attended. You know, I know Bases Loaded was up about $500,000 from last year. Most of all the sales have been up, and the cattle are good. I mean, that's what makes sales good is you got good cattle, stuff people want to buy. It brings good money. And I think that's evident by what's right here in the ring today that these judges are sorting through. It looks like they're kind of getting ready to hand their cards into Mr. Gerald Callahan on their 5, and like I said, they'll grab all those judges 5, and if they all have the same 5, we'll just bring 5 out from this group. If they have 15 different ones, it'll be 15. So the littles will be left to be 5, and the most will be 15, and we'll get that sorted down here a little bit, and then they'll pick a champion from whatever those judges' top 5s were.
Yeah, Dustin, I'm interested to see what the judges do. They're all qualified individuals, but they're all do a little bit something different in the beef cattle industry, and all good stockmen, but I'm just interested to see how many we have come back. I think everybody's got their cars turned in, and they're fixing to do a little paperwork, looks like. Gerald and Shane are walking over there to get this sorted out, and I believe they're going to probably announce, so we'll let y'all listen as they announce the top 5 to 15 that are going to be left out here, and then the judges will get to rank them.
Have made their preliminary sort on a fantastic Supreme lineup. Before we pull their top picks to the center of the ring, why don't you put your hands together for all these exhibitors, all these young people. Out in the center of the ring, young people, listen up. We need the Charolais, we need the Limousine, we need the Maintainer, we need the Chiania female, we need the Main Anjou, we need the Horned Hereford female, we need the Percentage Simmental, and the Simmental female to the center of the ring. Let's congratulate our top 8. At this time, our 3 judges are going to work back through the top 8, and they're all going to turn in a card, and we'll be with our Supreme Champion here momentarily.
To their top 8, ladies and gentlemen. In the lineup, we have the champion Charolais.
The rest of the exhibitors are more than welcome to stay in the ring.
The next one
down ringside and keep their cattle in the ring for display.
Champion Chiania female. Next one is the Percentage Simmental. Norvell's is the Maintainer female. The Champion Limousine female is up there. Champion Maine. Champion Horn. And the last one in the lineup is the Champion Purebred Simmental. And they did a really good job here, Dustin.
Yeah, I think so. I had all 5 that I had in my mind that I would have put in the top 5 are out here. It's nothing to take away from the individuals that were out. Some are just a little bit younger, maybe got out horsed out here just a little bit, but it's pretty stacked here, Chisholm. You got cattle with look, style, balance, or sound and structure. They're good on their feet and legs. They're presenting. I tell you what, this group of individuals is doing a great job of exhibiting these cattle.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect anything less. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3. Actually, for the first time in a while that I've seen it, the boys are outnumbering the girls. It's usually the other way around because the girls are pretty good to hands the stick, and all 2 of them are pretty young exhibitors too. But they're getting after it now.
So it's what they'll do. They'll pick a champion out of these 8. The judges will score each one. They'll place them 1 through 8, and the heifer that has the lowest number will be the champion. So if all 3 pick the same one, it'll have a 3. Therefore, it'll be the champion. But if this is a prelude to what we have from the bull show and the open female show, it's going to be quite an event. I tell you what, if you enjoy looking at great cattle, I think this is the place to be. This would be one of the toughest lineups to pick a champion from, as I'd say about anywhere you could go in the country.
Yeah, Dustin, I don't know. I've got a few out here I like, but I think they certainly got the top 8, but they're still got some work. There's some differences out here, though, obviously, as you see in the from the lineup. But they are all a good set of heifers now.
It's like most shows. You got developmental as far as gestation. You've got condition differences a little bit in some. But I tell you what, they all have a nice look to them. They're all very well balanced. They all seem to be very good on their feet and legs and sound and structure. Some have a little more hair than others, which some breeds indicative of that. But I think it's be quite an honor to have champion female out of this junior show at the Cattlemen's Congress.
Yeah, and for those of you joining us, what they are going to get today, well, what they're going to get today, the Supreme Champion will receive official banner provided by Sullivan Supply, a custom pair of boots courtesy of Rios of Mercedes, along with $1,000 credit to Transova Genetics.
And I believe those boots are going to be custom made. You can have any logo or brand or anything they desire to have on the top of those boots. But those will be the 3 things the Supremes will get of each one between the juniors and the bulls and the open females.
Yeah, and we appreciate all the sponsors. I think Dustin listed them off earlier, but this show couldn't happen without all of our sponsors, the people that came together to help put this on. Express Ranches, the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau is our title sponsor. Platinum sponsors Express Ranches, John Deere, LiveAuctions.tv, the Oklahoma Beef Council, Sullivan Supply, VitaFirm, and SureChamp, and WW Livestock Systems. We want to thank them people again for helping out put this show on. And I think the judges are getting it sorted down. I see one card. Looks like Mr. Jim Williams has got his rankings turned in. Looks like Murph is still looking around, and so is Glenn. But I imagine they want to make sure they get them how they want them.
What are there, Chisholm? Are there 3 heifers out here that won the open show too? I know the Scimitar that Pepper Elmore is showing won the Scimitar. I know Mr. Bruns here with the Horned Hereford won the open show and the Horned Herefords. And
well, I know the Limousine. They show she had reserve because they show the Limousines and the Limflex together in the open show, but the Limousine was reserve in the open show. I'm not sure about Miss Madeline Norvell's heifer, the main.
she only showed in the open show.
She only showed in the junior show. Okay. Maybe Harker's heifer. Did she win the? Let's look here. We've got the list in front of us. We'll find out. Yes. Chase Harker's heifer was also champion in the open show as well. Like I said, good set of heifers, and I think 2 of the judges maybe have theirs in now. Has Glenn turned his in? Or is he still looking?
I think Glenn's still got his in his hand, looks like from here, unless that's just another piece of paper had. But again, the judges will rank them 1 through 8, and the one with the lowest number will be your Supreme Champion Junior Heifer.
Yeah.
Looks like no, Glenn still has his, and Mr. Murphy still has his scorecard. I think Mr. Williams is the only one that's turned his in so far.
But this junior show, is a great set of kids out here. I'm proud, being from Oklahoma, to see that there's several Okies out here in the Grand Drive. Kelton Arthur, he comes from a good family. His mother is the Secretary of Ag in Oklahoma, and they show a lot of good cattle. The next young man's Wyatt Dunkaloo from Nebraska. They show really good cattle all around. The Dunk does a really good job. The Arker family from Indiana. You want to talk about a family that just jumps in there and gets it all. They're all one big crew, and they're competitive everywhere they go.
Got Madeline Norvell, be Tyler Norvell's daughter. She's quite a showman for a little girl. I've been watching her for quite a while. She can sure get one stuck. The Barton family
you can
from
attribute hers to
her mother, yeah,
and
yeah,
all
her
the work
mother.
that her and her mother do at the house, because
Yeah.
it's those two that do the work on them.
The Barton family's been very successful showing heifers and steers all through their junior years in Texas. The little Yoakum girl here, her dad was very competitive, and mother too, when they showed. And I think it's going to keep on going right down tradition-wise. She's got a great-looking main heifer here. The Bruns boy, like I said, that horn heifer, she's a Montgomery daughter out of the Pixie cow. She's been highly competitive. Like I said, she won the open show, and I can't remember if she was grand or reserve at Junior Nationals, but one of the two. And then Pepper Elmore, actually her dad was one of my roommates in college for a while. They runs a fit and service. They do a great job, and those girls are hard workers. They're athletes too. They do track and basketball, but Pepper and her sister, they're always out there working anytime I've ever went by there. So it's going to be a tough choice. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if there's really a right or wrong. There's a preference is the way I'd word that. It's whatever you prefer. I think that's what I always remind people when they get upset about a judge. A judge is paid to pick what he likes, not necessarily what we like. And so I think they got a good option there's a lot of good heifers out here, so there's really no right or wrong. It's just what they prefer.
I'll date myself, Dustin, and something kind of funny. I worked in college. I worked in the summer for the Barton family, and I was there when Chuck and Michelle told us that they were going to have Colton. And I believe this is his last year to show as a junior. But that family's done a good job for a long time, especially with limousines. This is actually bred by the Barton family. She was a bred known champion at Junior Nationals for sure.
And I believe she is the only bred known.
Well, I'm not sure about Arthur's heifer.
I don't have all that in front of me as far as the breeders on them, but I know the Barton's is, and I'm not sure on Kelton's.
Well, Kelton's is too, because that's his prefix. KLA.
So you got two out here that are be bred knowns. So we're just waiting for the committee to add all the scores up, and whoever has the lowest score will be your supreme champion junior heifer at the 2022 Cattlemen's Congress.
It looks like. Do they all have them turned in?
Yes,
So
they do have them.
tabulated.
Here's Mr. Gerald Callahan.
Let's give not only the exhibitors that made it to the final cut, but our three gentlemen that agreed to judge this, a nice round of applause, if you would, please. First off, we've asked each one of them to make a few comments, and the first one is going to be hails from the state of Missouri, Brett Murphy. He's a very successful breeder, judges lots of shows all over the United States, and here he is for some comments.
Well, thank you, Gerald. Well, first off, I guess start off by saying, wow, I mean, what an event, and not only that, what a set of young people that walked through this ring, and a high quality set of cattle as well. So my hat's truly off to you. Come down here, drove down here today thinking about this, and man, I've been pretty excited about it, and we're like everybody, we got a lot going on at home and a lot of things, but I kind of leave all that for everybody at home and was able to run down here for a day, and truly blessed and humbled that I could, because this is quite an event. You walk into this arena first, and then we have that national anthem. anthem that's absolutely incredible, which I don't think anybody's ever sang it poorly, but that was an awesome rendition of it. And then the gate opens, and then these cattle come in, and you know, I'm a firm believer. This is as great of event and as great of activity that we can do as a family and with our young people to make them better. And with that, I'm a firm believer that there's only truly one reason and one reason only we do show livestock. And this is just my opinion, but I think it's solely to make the next generation better, and the livestock will always be second to these young people. So let's give them all a great big round of applause. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here. It's great to watch these young people work this hard with this high-quality set of cattle. Great event. It's truly an honor to stand in this ring with these two guys that I've got to stand here with. I didn't know them very well when I got here, and we walked in that room back there and we visited, but I can tell you guys this. I've looked up to you all my life. You guys are way up here. I'm the dumb, simple Missourian, and I'm okay with that, but it's truly humbling to stand out here with two guys that are truly as knowledgeable and as successful as these two. Give these guys a big round of applause, and I'll turn it over to Glenn. It's been an honor to be a part of it.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Next, we have Glenn from Texas. We appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's a pleasure, not just to come in and evaluate the cattle, but to be involved and see really what you got going here at the Congress. And, you know, it's a big honor to me to get to work with youth across the country. And once again here, that's what we're doing is we're raising champion kids with livestock here with this heifer show and growing them up. Incredible quality is what first impression as they bring these things in, and just to watch them move, to watch the way they've got them into position, and yet really, you know, the most impressive thing to me is just sheer quality of the stock, quality of feeding ability, and certainly quality of the kids here. Brent went on just a bit, and I could reiterate some of those points, but it is a privilege to stand here. It's an honor to stand here and be able to evaluate such a fine set of cattle with such fine men. Once again, put your hands together for all these exhibitors that made it in the ring here in this Supreme Drive. Let's let them hear it.
Thank you. Next, one of my old buddies from a long time back. We used to bet on those A&M OSU football games all the time. Jim Williams from Hungerford, Texas.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here and judge here in Oklahoma City. I know last year was the inaugural event for the Cattlemen's Congress, but I tell you, it's a wonderful event. And even though it's a year old, this is year number 2. We're very, very thankful and blessed as cattlemen to the state of Oklahoma and to the leadership here at this Cattlemen's Congress, because last year there wasn't many shows. A lot of the big shows were canceled, and they said they're going to put it together. And they put it together, and they did good. You know, it's an honor here to be and judge with these two young men. I think we've got a 40-year-old, 40-something, how old are you, Glenn? Fit Neil, he's 50-something, and I'm 66. But when Brent said we walked in that room a while ago, I was the last one in that judge's room. There's about 10 of them sitting around there. I'll tell you, some of the greatest judges in the United States and in the history of judging cattle sitting at that table. And I was honored to go in there, and we should have taken a picture, because they've got some good judges judging these supreme champions. You know, when you judge these cattle, everybody's got a little bit different type they like. I don't know how we all placed them, but we're very, very consistent because we don't have a whole bunch of them out here. You know, we could have had 15 out here, and we could have had as few as 5. But it's a great event. The leadership here just outstanding. It's always a pleasure to judge cattle, see these young people. They're the future of America. And, you know, we don't have everything just right in the United States today. Let's don't say anything about Brandon or anything. But I still wouldn't trade the good old USA for anywhere else. We got some kids, maybe they're not quite as good as it used to be. You know, everybody says about the old times is a little bit better. They wasn't that good when I was a youngster either. But I wouldn't trade our kids in the United States for anywhere in the world, and especially not ones that are involved in agriculture. Yes, sir, no, sir. Outstanding individuals. It's been a pleasure to be here and work with these two outstanding young men judging with me, and I thank you for having us. We're going to decide what we're going to do and go pick the champion. Where's Gerald?
Well, the judges are done with their comments, Dustin, and now Gerald is fixing to give them their rankings, I believe, because they all did the rankings.
Yeah, he's going to give them the rankings.
Here they go,
go
for
out and select
the grand champion slap. They're walking around, and the champion,
it looks like the champion
Anjou heifer,
main Anjou heifer by
just won.
That's a really nice heifer. Nice heifer.
Owned by and shown by Ramey Yoakum, Spulp, Oklahoma. That heifer
Congratulations,
we
your
just
Supreme
sold
here at the
her on
Cattlemen's
Saturday night
Congress.
also,
Your grand
main
champion,
Anjou
main
sale.
Anjou female, exhibited by Ramey Yoakum, Sapulpa, Oklahoma, with TSON BPC High Standard 1H.
That concludes that.
Congratulations, Ramey.
I believe we're fixing to go right into the selection of the grand champion open females next.
Yeah, and some of these heifers, like I said before, will be coming back in for the open show, but we'll probably have just a little bit of break here, not too long, and they'll bring all the opens in, and they'll do the same format. We'll have a different set of judges when for the open show. We'll have Dr. Randy Perry from California will do the open show, Mark McClintock, and Dr. John Edwards from Texas will do the open females and bulls. But it'll probably be 10 or 15 minutes before they start coming in here, but they'll be in here in just a few minutes. I believe Chisholm, didn't this heifer sell the other night in the main sale?
Yes, sir, she did. She sold in the main Anjou sale. She brought $60,000 in the main Anjou sale on Saturday afternoon. She was lot one. The family's out there getting ready to take a picture. Big sister is getting a hug from little sister, and Dad's got a hold of the heifer and taking them around. Let's take just a second to get the picture of our Supreme Champion female. I think they want to take one in the ring, and then we'll be on to the next show.
Female, GHC KLA Sabrina 0181, exhibited by Kelton Arthur. Your grand champion Key Female, J. Saul Houdat Whitney 091 HET, exhibited by Sarah Sullivan. Your grand champion Key Angus Female, HIGG Henley 088 HET, exhibited by Hallie Holt. Your grand champion Key Composite, J. Saul TSSC Beth Dutton 0113 HET, exhibited by Seth Martin. Your grand champion Galvey Female, Lady Cassandra, exhibited by Carly Rumfelt. Your grand champion Balancer Female, GHGF Two-Step, exhibited by Cody Clary. Grand champion Horned Hereford, H Pixie 0635 ET, exhibited by Blake Bruns. Your grand champion Polled Hereford, BR Marita H031 ET, exhibited by Bryden Barber. Your grand champion Limousine Female, DL Hush Money 502H, exhibited by Sarah Sullivan. Grand champion Main Anjou, GOF Miss Princess 210H, exhibited by Clint Main. The grand champion Main Angus Female, WEBC Hillary 01H, exhibited by Kennedy Van Zant. Your grand champion Maintainer Female, CLAC Diamond 410H, exhibited by Hallie Recker. The grand champion Full Blood Main Anjou, TLLC Sophia 0H01 ET, exhibited by Tyler Loudon. Your grand champion Red Angus Female, HH Drama Queen 0151, exhibited by Shayla Sankic. Your grand champion Slayer, GGT Wellers 469H, exhibited by Brooklyn Matlock. The grand champion Optimizer FFCC Glorious Guppy 390J, exhibited by Lauren Frederick. Grand champion Shorthorn Female CF CSF Dream Lady 140H CXET, exhibited by Miller Smith. Grand champion Shorthorn Plus Female CF Mona Lisa Primo 115XET, exhibited by Houston Faree. Your grand champion Full Blood Simmental Luglin Tovey 059H, exhibited by Luglin Farms. Your grand champion Percentage Female CELL Trixie 0105H, exhibited by Chase Harker. And your grand champion Simmental Female GBC XTB Hazel H03, exhibited by Elmore Cattle Services, XTB Cattle Company, and Pepper Elmore. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all of our open champion females here at the Cattlemen's Congress. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our three judges here for your open show. Mr. Mark McClintock. Mark was raised on a horse ranch in Southern California and started showing cattle in 4-H. After high school, he attended Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where he was on the livestock judging team. After graduating, he served as herdsman for Bright Brothers Herefords for 3 years. He then moved to Texas and worked for Lone Star Herefords and later became the manager at Rocking Star Ranch, where together him and his wife Teresa worked for 28 years. Together they have 2 sons, Ryan and Mason, who both showed cattle and worked on the ranch. He has had the honor to judge most of the major shows in the U.S., as well as in Canada, Ecuador, Paraguay, and Thailand. Today, him and his wife Teresa raise Hereford cattle and spend time with their grandchildren. Your next judge is Mr. John Edwards. John Edwards is a native of Lodi, California. After high school, John attended Fresno State University, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in animal science. He then went on to teach at the high school and junior college level, and then later attended Kansas State University, where he received his PhD in animal science. This then led John to teach at Fresno State University, Colorado State University, and Texas A&M. He then became president of the North American Limousine Foundation and later found himself at Express Ranches until he retired. John has had the opportunity to judge every major livestock show across the United States and has judged shows in Australia, Canada, Brazil, and several other international shows. Today, John and his wife of 6 years have 2 daughters and enjoy spending time with their grandchildren. Your final judge on this panel is Mr. Randy Perry. Randy Perry is a California native and currently serves as the Beef Unit Enterprise Manager at Fresno State University. Dr. Perry received his bachelor's degree at Cal Poly and his master's and PhD at Kansas State University. Dr. Perry and his wife Susan and 3 children, Austin, Macy, and Colby, have been involved in the cattle industry, having competitively exhibited Angus cattle across the U.S. at multiple national shows. Randy and Suzanne are excitedly expecting their first grandchild later this year. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our judges panel here in your Open Supreme show at the Cattlemen's Congress. Today's Supreme Champions will receive an official champion banner provided by Sullivan Supply, a custom pair of boots courtesy of Rios of Mercedes, along with a $1,000 credit to Transova Genetics. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you a group of young professionals who, without them, the Cattlemen's Congress simply would not be possible. Our collegiate interns truly go above and beyond to make this show happen. From moving trailers in to running results ringside to cleaning barns and working to make the show as hospitable as possible, these students literally do it all. Thank you to the following interns: Laramie Coffey, J.C. Heath, Lily Gisclair, Evelyn Gilbreth, Caitlin Withers, Kaylee McInvale, Emily Middlestat, Carrie Landry, Matt Rossman, Sarah Frost, Kylie O'Brien, Jillian Remington, Roscoe Stelzer, McCall Stevens, Ryan Tuthill, Hannah Hawksworth, Amanda Smee, Emily Smith, Brooklyn Richmond, Callie Keaton, Elena Santiago, Tessa Trenzano, Kaylee Hawk, Morgan Savage, Loretta Malloy, Abby Bell, Caitlin Blevins, Megan Cooker, Sarah Hatfield, Walter Steele, Cade McGowan, Austin Houghton, Bella Locke, J.C. Watkins, Lakin Cherry, Lily Dietrich, Allie Angeli, Josie Myers, Kennedy Beeson, Lindy Brooking, Hallie Hartman, Gabby Line, Sarah Gillum, Brianna Warner, Abby George, Maddie Neeson, and Kelsey Veraska. Ladies and gentlemen, if you drove in here and you had a great experience at the Cattlemen's Congress, put your hands together. We could not do this show without our interns.
All right, for those of you joining us on Live Auctions 2.0, thanks for joining us. I'm Chisholm Kinder, and this is my co-host tonight, Dustin Layton, my good buddy. We got 16 females out there, and we're just going to run through them real quick in case y'all didn't hear. If you're just joining in,
Right.
Go ahead, Dustin.
All right, the 16 that came in, you had your champion Angus, exhibited by the Oakley family, came from Seldom Rest of Michigan.
Again, for those of you joining us, if you were not here
Your
for
grand
our Junior
champion
Supreme
Black
Drive,
Hereford.
our panel
You
of
have your
judges
grand
will be
champion
selecting
Charlet by
their
Kelton
5
Arthur.
favorite
She was
heifers
also-
out
She was
here in
also
the ring
champion
in
of the junior
no
show.
particular order.
You have your grand champion
Those 5 from
Kianina,
each
exhibited
of the
by
3
Sarah
judges will be-
Sullivan. You have your grand champion Key Angus,
Exhibited by Haley Holt, and she too won both the junior and the open show.
and then your champion Horned Hereford, exhibited by Blake Bruns. She also won the junior show. You have your champion Polled Heifer, exhibited by Bryden Barber from Barber Ranch. And you have your champion Limousine Heifer, also exhibited by Sarah Sullivan. Your champion Maine Anjou, exhibited by Clint Maine. Your champion Maine Angus, exhibited by Kennedy Van Zant. Your champion Maintainer, exhibited by Haley Recker. Your champion Red Angus, exhibited by Shayla Sankic.
The champion Shorthorn, exhibited by Miller Smith. He also won the junior show. The champion Shorthorn Plus, exhibited by Houston Faree. The percentage Simmental female that was champion was also champion the junior show, exhibited by Chase Harker from Indiana, and the champion Simmental, who also won the junior show, is exhibited by Pepper Elmore Cattle Services, and XTB Cattle Company. What a great set of females we have out here. A little bit different from the open and junior show, as you would expect, but still a great set of females for your second annual Cattlemen's Congress Supreme Champion Open Drive.
And your judges, Dr. John Edwards, Dr. Randy Perry from California, and Mark McClintock from Texas. Certainly as a
You mean
very...
Mark's not a doctor?
No, he's not a doctor. He thought about it. He may look like Einstein, but he's not. But it'll be interesting, as I know I've seen all three of these individuals judge. They like different things, so it'll be curious to see how they kind of come to the conclusion of which one they're going to overall use. Again, it'll be the same system as in the junior show. The judges will select their top 5. They'll take those. We'll either have between 5 and 15 out here. Then they'll go rank those between 1 and however many's left, and one with the lowest score will be the champion open heifer at the second annual Cattlemen's Congress. Again, like Chisholm said before, it's a pretty impressive lineup. You got some powerful programs here. You've got several heifers that have won major shows, junior nationals, previous time. Actually, there's several in here, Chisholm, if you get to counting them a little bit. So they certainly have good track records within their respective breeds. And I think this is a unique thing. You get your one of the major shows across the United States, and you have an Open Supreme and Junior Supreme, and then obviously we'll finish up with the Bulls here in just a little bit. But like they said earlier, they wanted to make this a cattleman show for cattlemen, and I think they've certainly achieved that. A lot of great work by the individuals, the board, and the staff here at OYE that heads a lot of the daily stuff up and getting everything ready. But it's an impressive lineup. It'll be curious to see how they come together as judges are going around the ring, as they'll be picking their top 5, and they'll get all those together, and then they'll judge them, and they'll place them from there.
Yeah, Dustin, and like you said, in the junior show, those junior kids did a great job. I'm watching Chase Harker just drop the halter on his heifer right there and pat his heifer on the head. She's so well trained to show, and all these exhibitors do a great job. There's just a handful of adults out here showing, Dustin, and really the kids probably do a better job handling them than the adults most times.
Yeah, really, as far as adults, the ones that you count not college, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
So as far as I know, there's out of the 16, 4 of them are being exhibited by adults. Maybe 5. There's 5 being exhibited by ones that cannot no longer show in junior shows. So pretty impressive. Like Chisholm said, these kids, it shows who does the work with them at home, and those heifers are used to them, and they're doing a great job sticking them. You couldn't tell the difference between them and the olders, the parents and the breeders that are showing some of them.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Dustin, this is, this just shows the fact that this is such a great program for the junior kids. I know you're involved now with your son Gavin showing my family. It's a family event at our house. I mean, we started showing kit when they were 5, so it's a great program. Good thing to raise your kids around. They learn a lot of life lessons and values, how to take some adversity, hard work, risk and reward, and there's a lot of good things that come out. They'll meet, their lifelong friends that they'll know throughout the rest of their lives to the cattle business at these junior shows and open shows. And the Cattlemen's Congress is no different than any other. But they're doing a really good job putting this show on. We probably ought to hit the highlight on our sponsors again. I know the title sponsor is the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau. They're glad to have us back, or everyone back again for the second annual event, along with our platinum sponsors, Express Ranches, John Deere, LiveAuctions.tv, Oklahoma Beef Council, Sullivan Supply, VitaFirm, and SureChamp, and WW Livestock Systems. We couldn't put this show on without that and without everybody that comes out. They had a really big trade show, Dustin. It was even better than last year's. A lot of companies were here supporting and working and selling their products to cattlemen. But they were here because they want to support the show and the industry. They had a really good bull display this time. It was only open one weekend, but man, I tell you what, there was a big crowd over there and a lot of really good cattle on display. Pin show, I know there's not a Supreme Champion pin show, but there's some really impressive bulls that got showed in the pin and carload show and the pin and heifer show too, and all these breeds. Last year they worked it around really, Dustin, to where accommodate those pin show people a little bit better. You know, we don't have a stockyards here, but they're working around it, trying to make improvements to this show every year. The barns we got a lot of money. Governor Stitt got some money secured to update this barn, and I believe in 2 years, I think we're going to have a new arena that will be showing in. This Jim Nork arena that we're in, it is old. It's a big house, you know. As a kid growing up, playing in high school sports, basketball state championship was here in the big house, and Oklahoma Youth XO Spring Fair, when I showed, we showed in here. We're still showing here today, and they actually play basketball in this facility the weekend before Oklahoma Youth Expo starts, and they turn it overnight.
I believe they had a wrestling tournament right before the Congress started, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
So they had a big wrestling tournament here, and so they had to get that cleaned out and get the mats up and the floor back in, everything raked in and everything cleaned up. And I think that was simultaneously as the cattle were coming in, being checked in right here at the Congress. I think a couple of the judges, one of them has got his cards turned in. There's one or two that are still walking around trying to pick their top five, but again, our judges, Dr. John Edwards. John is now residing in Texas. Mark McClintock is in Texas as well. And Dr. Randy Perry's still in California, but they bought a place here in Oklahoma, and I believe in 2 years he's going to be a Oklahoma resident. So, but those three have judged many shows as far as national, county, any types of shows you can imagine. They've probably done it. Like I said, they're picking their top five. They will assume all those. Will give their cards to Mr. Callahan here in a minute. And once they get their top five of each individual's picked out, then they'll place those. And it looks like Mark is making his way over there. And he's got a question.
Oh,
I never would imagine that. Maybe John's got one too. But it is a tough job, and I know they want to do their due diligence and try to really analyze the cattle and pick the ones that they feel should be the Supreme Champion, because it's quite an honor.
Yeah. I really especially appreciate Dr. John's footwear today. You can tell he's retired and living in Texas. He's got his tennis shoes on, but I don't blame him. I've been here since the 30th, and wearing boots every day will wear your old back out. So I think McClintock is he the last one that hasn't turned in, or has Randy not turned his in either? It's tough out here, folks. They got a big decision to make, so they're going to take their time, make sure they get it right.
And as we sit here and wait for the judges to get their five picked in, I know they welcome you back here next year to be the annual Cattlemen's Congress. They've already got stuff in way as far as donors and trying to make improvements. Like Chisholm said, some of the things that weren't improved were based on a supply part. As many of you know, if you went to build something, it's not always readily handable to get. But they are doing their due diligence and getting that stuff put together. Looks like maybe Mark's about to get his card marked.
Yeah, I was trying to look here, Dustin, and see. I don't know if they've announced the judge team. A lot of the collegiate livestock judging team contest was today as well. There's a lot of judging teams, aspiring judges, sitting up here watching the old professionals do it and see how they do it. Hopefully they take some notes. They don't have the they don't have the results up on the pulse, but good crowd of people here watching.
Well, it
I'm
looks
sure
like
everybody's
they're handing the phone to Mr. Shane Bedwell, so they've got their cards turned in.
Bring to the center of the ring. We want you to head up to Mr. Richie Oakes. Be our Angus heifer. You can cheer for him. Charlet. Kiania. Main on Jew. Percentage Simmental. Limousine. Hereford. Polled Hereford. Key Angus.
So it looks like we've got it narrowed down to 9 heifers. We have the Angus,
Let's
the
congratulate
Charlet.
all of these female exhibitors here in our Open Supreme.
6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there'll be 9 heifers. You have your champion Angus heifer, your champion Charlet heifer, your champion Kianina heifer, your champion Main Anjou heifer, your champion Percentage Simmental heifer, your champion Limousine heifer, your champion Horned Hereford female, your champion Polled Hereford female, and the champion Key Angus female. So they'll pick between these 9. They'll score them. They'll rank them 1 through 9, and the heifer with the lowest number will be your grand champion Open Supreme heifer. Gerald's explaining to the judges again how this process works.
Yeah, a little bit different lineup than what we had in the junior show.
Yeah, as you'd
Grand
expect,
Drive.
everybody evaluates cattle different and has things they look for differently. There's a couple of heifers I thought might be out here in this open show that aren't, and there's several in here I thought that would be in here. So,
yeah, it looks like we got one. The Charlet was in the top of both of them, and Percentage Simmental, and the Horned Hereford, and the Key Angus. Was it Key Angus in the back? Yep.
So 4 that made the final for the Junior Open have made it here in the final of the Open for the Supreme Champion female. Again, a great set of heifers. You can't really go wrong once you get into this kind of quality. You got all these cattle are fitted immaculately. They're got great showmen on them. Like Chisholm said earlier, there's not many adults. A lot of these are juniors out here showing these cattle, and they've done a great job. Many times those cattle are more used to the youth than they are the parents and stuff as they do the work at home. But the judges are evaluating this last group of 9. They will rank them 1 through 9, and the heifer with the lowest number will be your champion Open Supreme at the 2nd Annual Cattlemen's Congress.
I tell you what, Dustin, I just got to watch them all walk by, kind of from a bird's eye view, a little bit higher up over them, watching them. These cattle are all sound and functional, and they've got a lot of shape and body, and I mean, some of these you couldn't really draw them much different for their respective breeds to find what your optimal female would look like, and they got their work cut out ahead of them. It'll be interesting to see which one they end up with. If I was a little cockier, I would tell you which one I would use, but I'm probably just going to keep my mouth shut today because
It's probably a wise thing.
I don't want to make any enemies today because that doesn't ever pay very good or help.
A lot of power, a lot of body, a lot of look and design in these heifers out here, starting from the Angus, going all the way back to the Key Angus in the back. Like I said, I think you could go any way. There's really not a right or wrong. Obviously, it looks to me like there's some little different as far as where they're at in their gestation, or maybe where they should be in their gestation if I was judging. Condition comes down to it, maturity patterns. But they all have some balance. They have some eye appeal. They have some true muscle shape. Seem the right size. If you look across there, I know they're a little different in ages, but they're going to kind of be what I call the right size. We don't have anything too small or too big, and I think it's just a really, really nice lineup that all these judges have kind of come together. It'll be really interesting. Like I said, I've seen all three of these guys judge, and I'm not saying I know exactly what they like, but I do know they like different cattle, so it'll be be pretty intriguing to see which one comes to surfaces to the top.
Yes, sir. And I tell you what, just like there's several of these that were in both shows, and there's several junior national champions in Louisville and Kansas City, and these heifers have been campaigned, kind of all over. But they are an impressive set. I think the judges did a really good job getting their top 9 to sort down, but they look good out there, Dustin.
Yeah, I know the Barber heifer. She was champion polled this summer at the Junior Nationals, and I believe she won the Royal. I know she won the Royal. Pretty fault-free kind of heifer. I know the heifer that Jason Hoffman's showing there. She was champion in both the Junior and the Open, and I believe she was reserved at the Junior Nationals this summer. I'm pretty sure of that.
Well, the Key Angus heifer was champion at Louisville for sure. I know that because I believe we sold half interest in her at the key sale the other night. I'm almost positive.
Well, there's one thing I can promise you: there's quite a bit of dollars standing out there.
Yes, sir. Yep. And the Limousine heifer, I believe, was champion Limflex female at Junior Nationals. Yeah, a lot of great cattle out there, great heifers, as you would hope and expect at the second annual Cattlemen's Congress. I'm sure they're going to make this an annual event this second year. We had over 10,000 entries, I believe. So here we are, Champion Grand Drive. Judges are making their rankings, and hopefully we'll be able to tell you who the Supreme Champion Open Female Second Annual Cattlemen's Congress is.
Yeah, and these judges will have to rank them 1 through 9, and the one with the lowest score will win. So it's a combination. They don't show us how they place them. They just count it up and announce it. But I don't know. I think there's probably 2 out here that hit me as hard as anything in here currently right now. I'll be curious to see how they wind up.
We appreciate everybody joining us online. While we got a little slow time here, we probably ought to thank the staff here at the Cattlemen's Congress. If y'all weren't tuned in during the Junior Grand Drive. Also, I'm looking down here at the man that's been here the whole time. He's here, and his wife, Richie and Mary Lou Oakes. Yep, and he wants to comment from the sidelines, but they're here the whole time. They do the same thing in Oklahoma Youth Expo. Couldn't have either one of the shows without Richie and Mary Lou, but I also want to thank the staff, Bray Haven, who's the executive vice president of the Congress, Cass Newell, vice president of operations, J.D. Rossman, vice president of communications. J.D. does a good job. I work with him quite a bit leading up to this event, and he's top-notch. Whitney Walker, those of you in the livestock industry know Whitney. She showed a lot. She's, I think
She just came on with OYE, I
Yep.
believe. I think she's finishing up her last semester of college. I believe that's correct.
Doing
and then
this
she'll
while
be-
she's in
while
college.
she's in college. Hard-working young lady, and certainly been a great asset to hear. And Erin Dorsey serves as a consultant. Erin's been around for many years, as many of you know. She serves on a consulting basis here, probably directing a few traffics.
She's doing it. She worked a lot with the international, trying to get international folks in here to attend the Cattlemen's Congress this year. We also want to thank the group of people that are the board of directors here. They're the kind of the ones that came together to get it started last year, really, truthfully. Gerald Callahan with Express Ranches, Tyler Norvell with OYE and the Onward Foundation, Bob Funk, Express Ranches, he's on the OYE board, Express Personnel Services, Jimmy Harrell, Bank of Western Oklahoma, excuse me. He's also on the OYE board. And we got a loose one out there again. We got one out loose in the junior show and one in the open show. And the one in the open show got away from an adult this time. I won't call her out by name, but I know her pretty well. Also on on this board of directors is Shane Bedwell with the American Hereford Association, Jacqueline Upperman with the American Angus Association, and Blake Nelson with the American Maine Jew Association. I want to thank them for their work throughout the year, serving on the board as well. And I know they have several conference calls and meetings, and leading up to this first event, they were down here a lot.
Yeah, boards are necessities. They're an unthankful job sometimes, but you have to have leaders in position that want to take over those roles to put on events like this. It's a non-paying position, but someone has to direct the traffic and get people involved, and you have to have cattlemen, as those folks are, whether they represent breed associations, run ranches, but they all have grown up in the livestock industry in some aspect or sector of it. But they did a great job. I know I've had to be on a few deals, nothing of this magnitude by any means, and it can consume a lot of time, and I know they have spent a lot of time away from family and their jobs that they have to do on a regular basis to accommodate and make this happen. It looks like they got all their scorecards turned in? No,
I don't think
so. They got 2 of the 3, I think.
But
2 of the 3.
Reiterate, sometimes being on those boards can be a little bit of a thankless job. We want to thank those people for doing that, and all the staff here, because sometimes all you get to hear about is the bad, not the good. But there is a lot of good that comes out of here. They sent out a survey last year about what we would change, and they're working on fixing what the folks had to say. The exhibitors. They sent out another survey already. If your breed that you were shown was done, they actually sent it out to you. And so they're open to. They want to make this better, bigger every year, and I believe they will. I mean, I really do. This crew that puts on this show also puts on Oklahoma Youth Expo, and it's the world's largest youth livestock exposition. And some may say, well, there's bigger shows out. Well, this is just a youth show in the spring. It's all it is. I don't even know how many. There's exhibitors from every county show up, 4 species, 10 days, cram-packed full, and they get it all done and turned over and have a great event and great sale, help the youth, a lot of scholarships, and that couldn't have happened without this group that runs the show here. Here we are in the big house. We got 1 left to be turned in, or 2?
It looks like we have 2 left to be turned in to me. They're placing them 1 through 9. There's 9 out here. Again, the lowest score will be the champion female. So as soon as looks like Mark's McClintock's still evaluating. I believe the other 2 have theirs turned in, if I believe.
Well, I don't know if they're turned in, but they dang sure got them filled out, looks to me like. But yeah, great set of cattle, great event. Also, I believe Thursday night we're going to have the Supreme American Drive. Let me look at this schedule here I got in front of me. So you have to tune in Thursday at 6 p.m. They're going to have the American Supreme Drive, Junior Female, Open Female, and Open Bull Show. So what that is we've got the Simbraw, and they're having a Brangus show, Brahman show, Brayfords, Santa Gertrudis. What am I missing, Dustin? I'm sure I missed something. But those cattle will show for Supreme American Drive on Thursday evening. We still have, today's Tuesday. We still have Wednesday. We've got quite a few shows on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we end up with the Junior Market Steer Show at 9 o'clock on Saturday. And that'll be the last thing for this year's Cattlemen's Congress.
Yeah, the Prospect Steer and Heifer Show will be on Friday at noon, and then the Junior Market Steer Show will be Saturday morning at 9 right here in this arena, and that'll conclude the Cattlemen's Congress for 2022. They're taking their time, but it's a tough decision, especially, ranking these 1 through 9, because how you rank one second, third, or fourth, or really any, could really dictate who ends up being the Supreme, since they're taking the lowest number.
Yes, sir.
And if we took a wager on who was going to turn their card in last, I would have won.
Yes, we both would have won. We knew that was going to happen. But anyways, no, this year's been great. I think we've had several record-selling animals at this year's. I know for sure the record-selling Shorthorn bull was sold on Sunday night for $123,000. I'm sure we probably broke some other records in there, but it's been a great event. The sales been great. I believe there's been at the fairgrounds. Well, I think there was something like 18 or 19 sales this week. Can't get to them all, but there's been good local support. A lot of ranchers coming in Oklahoma and across the United States buying cattle, and it's been good, Dustin. I mean, I know you're involved with several sales, and we still have a few sales left, but it just goes to how this market's been and what it's going to be like. They're I think on live auctions
testing. We're going to have a
company,
few comments
Superior,
from our three judges.
is
First
having
up will be Dr.
the
Randy
bell ringer
Perry
sale,
from
but here's
Fresno State
Callahan
University in
with his
California.
comments.
We appreciate each one of our judges being here. Let's give our final exhibitors as well as our three judges a nice round of applause, and they're each going to say a few words.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank the folks here at the Cattle Congress and the breed associations and congratulate these exhibitors. I mean, what a super set of heifers, and some of the heifers that went back as well. I mean, these females are powerful. They represent their breeds extremely well. They're not all the same. They shouldn't be. Their breeds aren't all the same, but just a super set of females, unbelievable quality, and again, it's really an honor for me to be part of this activity. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Perry. Next, we'll have Mark McClintock from San Angelo, Texas.
Well, what an honor to be asked to come out and evaluate these females. And look, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to say that this could be done different. There's a lot of good cattle out here, and I'm only 1/3 of this, but I'm sure the other guys probably struggled as much as I did as to which ones need to be up towards the top. Awesome set of cattle, and I mean, no one's a loser in this deal because you've won your breed already, and I'm just impressed that the cattle are just as good as they are, and you know, I guess I'm going to find out just as soon as you guys do who won this deal. But again, give these guys a big round of applause. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money put into this.
Thank you, Mark. The last person up will be Dr. John Edwards. John's hailed from several places, but presently Georgetown, Texas. Dr. Edwards?
Thanks, Gerald. Gerald called me last year about judging this, and COVID kept me home. So it was an honor and humbling to be asked to come back this year. I judged a lot of years. I'll be 80 in May. And I've never seen a set of cattle like this in the ring at one time in 50 years of judging. It's incredible. As Mark said, they're not all the same, and they shouldn't be, but they are outstanding, and my congratulations to the exhibitors here and the ones that went back for bringing an outstanding set of cattle that are presented beautifully, shown beautifully, and I think we are all honored to be here to see this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. Now we'll ask our three judges to come to the center, and they'll go collectively and go, when they find out, select our grand champion.
All right, Gerald's going to tell them which one is the winner based upon their the way their scores were added up, and the lowest number will be the winner, and they will walk out and slap that champion supreme female. Like I said, there's a couple ways I think it'll probably go. Be curious to see which one, if I'm kind of right on that or not. Like I said, all these guys like a little different type and kind. Nothing wrong with that at all, but I think a great set of females. And like Dr. John Edwards said, there's really not a wrong way to go, as all these heifers are really, really good. Let's see which one they're going to pick. It looks like the Angus is going to be the champion heifer. It goes to the Oakley family in Tennessee, raised by Seldom Rest. I believe she's a Conley Express daughter.
Well, congratulations,
really nice female. But I tell you what, there's several others out here that certainly, all 9 of these certainly were right there in contention. But congratulations to the Oakley family in Tennessee and the Seldom Rest on that Supreme Champion open heifer from the Angus division.
Yes, sir, Dustin. They're gonna take a picture in the ring with the judges, and I'm sure some family and the board.
That one little boy, he's got to be tired. He was out here for about an hour. He was here in the junior and the open.
That's Chase Harker from
Indiana. I think he's the only one. There's a couple of heifers. Well, him and Kelton. Him and Kelton were in here both times. I bet them 2 little boys. I bet you quite a bit they'll be back in here again someday, Chisholm.
Well, I tell you what, those 2, it's not gonna wear them out. They're used to it. They've been around their whole lives. I'm sure they're just glad and proud to be out there. Looks like we got to tell Andrew Foster how to make a big circle and set up his heifer. It might be Andrew's first time to take a picture in the ring, maybe, because he still doesn't got it right. Or we're going to do a headshot.
We'll do a frontal view.
Frontal view. That'll be easier this way. It'll be quicker. They're going to go take a picture at the backdrop anyways.
I think she even got Callahan's ears, Chisholm.
Yep, she got all her ears that time.
Angus show was a tough show. They're all tough here, but that's a really nice heifer. I believe she would have sold, obviously, in the Seldom Rest annual sale there. I believe it's in October. And I believe she is a Conley Express.
Yeah, and like I was saying before they started commentating, the parent company or company that also owns liveauctions.tv is Superior Productions, Superior Auction. And they're having a big sale this week. I believe starts tomorrow, Dustin, the bell ringer sale. And somebody told me there was 139,000 feeder cattle they have to sell the next 3 days on the video with Superior. So those of you might want to join in if you're in.
What hotel are they doing that in, Chisholm? Do you remember?
I do not.
Last year they did it over there off Memorial, or off Meridian.
Last year was the Embassy. Was it the Embassy Suite?
I think it was at the Embassy Suites. I don't know if it's the same place.
We'll do a little checking and find out. But
well,
for
ladies
sure,
and gentlemen,
you
we
can
are
tune
ready
in
to
on
get started
Superior.
with your Supreme Bull
watch it on
Drive here
TV,
at the
or you can
Cattlemen's
probably get
Congress.
on
At
Superior,
this
click
time,
to
I'm
bid,
going to
bid.
introduce to you all of our grand champions here at the Cattlemen's Congress.
That'll be a really
Oklahoma
good sale.
City.
All right, we're getting ready to lead the bulls in. We'll have the same judges.
HSR
We'll
Mama's
let the
Next
announcer announce these two.
exhibited by Hansa Cattle. Your grand champion Angus, exhibited by Seldom Rest Farms with Seldom Rest Regulate 0105. Next in the ring is your grand champion Black Hereford Bull, Joe Revolution 9506, exhibited by Crescent Hill Black Herefords, Jenkins Cattle Ranch, and Joe Bulls. Your grand champion Bronvy Bull, exhibited by Jordan Walker with NECCR 901H. Your grand champion Beef Builder Bull, exhibited by Parkside Bronvy with Darkside Surplus 101814. Your grand champion Charlet Bull, exhibited by Green Hills Charlet with GHCC All In 15G. Your grand champion Key Bull, exhibited by Fracker Show Cattle with FRA On The Money. Your grand champion Key Angus Bull, DAJS Blackout 93, exhibited by Evans Cattle Company, Grand Old Place Farms, and Doug and Jan Satry. Your grand champion Galvey Bull, Empire ET, exhibited by Carol Landing Cattle and Nowak Cattle. Your grand champion Balancer Bull, record year 9190G, exhibited by Riley Galvey and Balancers. Your grand champion Horned Hereford Bull, BRER Big Country, 007 ET, exhibited by Ryan Cox, Edward Ranch, Drew Perez, and Aiden Barber. Grand champion Bold Hereford Bull, PCC 7009173D Maverick 0183 ET, exhibited by Creighton Chapman, Corabelle Chapman, and Michael Perez. Your grand champion Limousine Bull, Ratliff Jumpstart 340J ET, exhibited by Ratliff Cattle. Your grand champion Main Anjou Bull, BKMT High Society 10HET, exhibited by Buck Cattle Company and Morton Cattle Company. Your grand champion Main Angus Bull, exhibited by Hannah Schroeder with NSSC SCC Unmatched Traditions. Your grand champion Maintainer Bull, Kea EM Mr. Just Do It ET, exhibited by Coy Moonin. Your grand champion Red Angus Bull, JCL Polo, exhibited by JCL Red Angus. The grand champion Slayer Bull, exhibited by WBB Jefferson 2J Fox Grape Farm. Your grand champion Optimizer PH Bedrock 31, Sageitis. Your grand champion Shorthorn Bull, CF Payweight XET, exhibited by Kate's Farms. Your grand champion Shorthorn Plus Bull, TSSC BT Limit Up 1099 JET, exhibited by Schaefer Show Cattle. The grand champion Percentage Simmental Bull, Harker's Unleashed, exhibited by JS Simmentals and Minert Show Cattle. And last but certainly not least, your grand champion Simmental Bull Ignition, exhibited by Nesperenko Genetics Group. For those of you ringside, let's put our hands together for our grand old bull drive here at the Cattlemen's Congress. Your Supreme Champion Bull today will be receiving an official champion banner provided by Sullivan Supply, a custom pair of boots courtesy of Rios of Mercedes, along with a $1,000 credit to Transova Genetics. Special thank you to our sponsors. Also a thank you to our panel of judges here for your Supreme Bull Drive, Mark McClintock, John Edwards, and Randy Perry. If you are just joining us here for the bull drive and missed the two female drives, our judges will be selecting their 5 favorite bulls out here in the ring. We will then shorten the numbers down here in the arena. Our judges will then rank the bulls in order of their favorites. Your Supreme Champion will be the bull with the lowest number of points.
Well, they've got the bulls in here from their respected breeds. There's 14 of them here. I'll run these down, the ones that they'll be selecting. Each judge, again, will pick their top 5, and then they'll go back and place those that are selected. We have the Champion Angus. It, too, is exhibited by Seldom Rest Farms in Michigan. That, too, is a Conley Express. The Grand Champion Black Hereford, the Grand Champion Kianina, the Grand Champion Key Angus, the Grand Champion Horn Hereford, the Grand Champion Polled Hereford, the Grand Champion Limousine, the Grand Champion Main Anjou, the Grand Champion Main Angus, the Grand Champion Maintainer, the Grand Champion Red Angus, the Grand Champion Shorthorn, the Grand Champion Percentage Simmental, and the Grand Champion Simmental will round out the 14 that came back for this Supreme Drive of the Bulls. Again, the judges, Mark McClintock from San Angelo, Texas, Dr. Randy Perry from California, and Dr. John Edwards from Georgetown, Texas.
Yeah, yeah, and if you're watching online, they're not quite in order as we go through here, starting from the Angus, Black Hereford, Key, and the Key Angus, both the Horned and the Polled Hereford, followed by the Limousine, the Main Anjou, Main Angus, Maintainer. This is the right here in front of me is the Percentage Simmental, Red Angus, Champion Shorthorn, the Champion Simmental. Go back through them. The Black Hereford is exhibited by Crescent Hill Black Hereford, Jenkins Cattle Ranch, and Joe Bulls. The Angus is, as Dustin said, exhibited by Seldom Rest Farms. The Kianina Grand Champion Key Bull is exhibited by Fraker Show Cattle. He is sired by Onset. The Champion Key Angus Bull is exhibited by Evans Cattle Company, Grand Old Place, Doug and Jane Satry. He's sired by Special Effect. The Champion Horned Hereford is exhibited by Ryan Cox, Edwards Ranch, Drew Perez, and Aiden Barber and the Barber Ranch. He is sired by Hutton 4030 out of 4082. It's also the Dam of Bel Air that was the Supreme Champion Hereford and two-time Supreme Champion Hereford at the National Western Stock Show. The Polled Hereford is exhibited by Creighton Chapman, Corabella Chapman, and Bell Chapman, and Michael Perez and Perez.
And that bull we actually sold in their bull sale Chisholm last February. He was an Endure son that Chapman's in Illinois purchased.
Yes, sir. Yep. The Grand Champion Limousine Bull is exhibited by Ratcliffe Cattle, Ratcliffe Limousine. I believe he is out of that Larissa female that they've had so much success with on the female end, raising those Grand Champion Limousine heifers all around the past few years. The Grand Champion Manon Jew, exhibited by Buck Cattle Company and Morton Cattle Company. He is sired by Epic, and I believe we sold, no, I don't know if we sold him in the main sale last year or not. I don't think so.
Epic would have been raised by the Prey family in Colorado, and Gerald would have actually bought that bull in the main Anjou Bright Lights sale, bull sale in Denver a few years ago, and he certainly went on to be one of the great breeding bulls in the main Anjou breed.
He is doing a job, Dustin. The main Angus is exhibited by Hannah Schroeder. The maintainer is exhibited by Coy Moon, and I believe that
he's the breeder on it too.
Red known bull. Yep, he's sired by Endgame. The Shorthorn, which I was talking earlier about, the record-setting high-selling Shorthorn bull, exhibited by Kate's Farms, and he's got a group that owns him now of breeders that bought into him. He brought $123,000 on Sunday night, and the next bull is the Percentage Simmental. Oh, I passed over the Red Angus, so I want to do that. Our good buddy Kyle Conley's showing that one, exhibited by JCL Red Angus, and
it was a bull that Kyle bought from Jimmy. Really nice bull, well balanced, stout made, good bone, got a great look to him.
Yeah, and Jimmy's out there, or I know he's not listening, but if he's watching, I hope he's doing better. We want to send prayers to Jimmy. He's not doing the greatest, but he certainly has a good eye for cattle and has raised a bunch of good ones throughout the years. What did we miss? The Percentage Simmental is exhibited by J.S. Simmentals, J. Steenhook and family from Iowa, and Minor Show Cattle. He was also raised by the Harker family from Indiana that had the Champion Percentage female in both the Supreme Open and Supreme Junior lineup. And the last bull is exhibited by, and I'm going to butcher that. How do you say that, Dustin? A group, genetic group owns that one. And that, I believe, is I think that one came from Hartman. Big Nate's out there showing that one. He's sired by Profit. Great lineup of bulls. Be interesting to see what they do. Just like the other two Grand Drives, the judges are going to pick their top 5 and write those down. And we could have 5 or 10 or 15 or however many. Like last time, first time we had 8, last time we had 9. So
Yeah, I assume they'll kind of get it down to 8 or 9. That seems to be kind of the magic number here. They can have as little as 5, as many as 15, but I think it'll hit somewhere right in the middle. Really nice balanced set of bulls, whatever your breeding program desires and whatever your end goals are. Everybody has different end goals, different end points, different motives, and different areas, Different areas require different types of cattle to survive and be productive. But I think it's a unique deal to see all these Supreme drives. You take your Junior Supreme show with the females, and you take your Open female show, and you take this bull show, picking a Supreme of it. And you have a lot of difference in ages here. You got calves, you've got some long yearlings, you got some coming 2-year-olds. So evaluating maturity patterns and different stages of their life and predicting out where they are. But really nice set of bulls from top to bottom. I think all these breeds are greatly represented. Some folks can't hang around long enough. Some of these cattle were showed over a week ago, and some of them have to go home and calve cows and do stuff. So it takes a lot of effort to stay around, as some of these cattle, they've been done shown for 3 or 4 days, and they've hung around. That's what it means to them. And one thing about the beef business, it's a very prideful business, and I get the pleasure of working for several out here in the rings. I do several of their sales, and I tell you what, they're very vested in the business. They live and breathe it, do it day in, day out, from a show side to a commercial aspect side. There's 2 of them in here right now. I've got their bull sales coming up here in the next 30 days. So they hit all aspects of the industry, and I think that's kind of what it takes. There's nothing wrong with breeding cattle that have look and style and can still perform. I think that's kind of the basis of it. But really nice set of cattle, and these judges will kind of get these picked out here as they're turning their top 5. Do they have them all? No, they don't.
No, they don't. You know who's.
There's one left. And the first guess don't count.
Yeah, Dustin, this is an exceptional lineup of bulls out here, and I'm sure they'll get their favorites out here. There's a really good set of bulls, and for different breeds, different types of cattle, but I think all the breeds are well represented out here, and it's been a good week. And like Dustin said, some of these things they started showing on Monday of last week, so some of these things have been here over a week. It takes a lot of commitment and time to do that, and some of them can leave and come back, but most people can't. I
don't know how Chisholm and I really got picked to do this. We weren't really asked to do it. We were told we were going to do it. So I told Gerald when he called us, I said, maybe you should get somebody that has a little more experience or enjoys doing this. He said, well, I'll take your consideration, but you'll be there Tuesday at 6. So, again, we were kind of told when we were going to be here. But it's a good view here. I'm glad to have the opportunity to do it. And, again, thank you, liveauctions.tv. And like Chisholm said earlier, the bell ringer sale, Superior Productions will be here. I think they start tomorrow, the next couple days.
Tomorrow morning, 8
tomorrow
o'clock.
Morning.
And I did get a text message. It was at 8. It starts at 8 a.m. at the MC Suites on Meridian.
It's at the Embassy Suites. At 8 a.m. be 100,000 plus cattle sale. So come check that out. For those of you wondering what the market is going to be, most of it will be feeder calves. They'll have a handful, I'm sure, of some bred heifers and cows. It'll probably be later in the week, but certainly appreciate everything they do as far as sponsorship. And I know many of you use live auctions throughout your sales in the spring, or Superior click to bid, or have your sale on TV with Superior Productions.
It looks like we're getting them turned in.
Looks like they're getting them turned in. So they're right in there. Everybody's 5 down. They'll call those to the center of the ring, and then they will place those from 1 to however many they finish. Here comes Mr. Shane Bedwell to announce which ones will make it to the final.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our judges have made their selection. They're going to bring 6 bulls to the middle of the ring. They'll rank those 6. What we need in the middle of the ring is the Angus bull, Horn Hereford, Simmental, Maine Anjou, Red Angus, Percentage Simmental, no particular order. Let's give them a good hand here, folks.
All right, so
All
the
these
judges
exhibitors.
pretty close. They just got 6, so they could each pick 5, and these are the 6 they chose. They have the Angus, beef with Seldom Rest Farms at Conley Express. The Horn Hereford, Brett Barber's leading that bull. He is a Fort Hutton 40-30 out of 4082. 4082 is a mother of Bel Air. Been one of the more historic Hereford females. We would have sold a piece of her back in 2018. I think we sold half of her for 115 or 20,000. And then you have the Red Angus exhibited by Conley Cattle Company. Good friend Kyle Conley,
JCL Red
raised
Angus.
by JCL Red Angus in Welch, Oklahoma, actually my hometown. Then you have the
That's the next in line is the Simmental.
Simmental. Big Nate Coulterman's exhibiting that one, be from the Hartman Group. And then you have Mr. Gerald Buck with the Epic Sun, be the main Anjou. And then you have the Percentage.
Jay Steenhook with the Percentage Simmental. He's owned by J.S. Simmental as the Minert Show Cattle. Great set of bulls out here.
I think they represent their breeds very well. You know, you look at their feet, all their feet are pointing forward. They've got good scrotal development. They got some body type. They got some look. They got some muscle expression to them. You know, I think, like I said, again, I don't think you could really go wrong here. It comes down to opinion. Again, they'll score these 1 through 6, and the one that has the lowest number will be the champion, be your supreme champion bull here at the 2022 Cattlemen's Congress.
While we're waiting on them to make their selection, we go down here through our sponsors. We couldn't have this without our sponsors. The title sponsor for the Cattlemen's Congress is the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau. Express Ranches, platinum sponsors in no particular order. Where's that at? Express Ranches, John Deere. I've got it here somewhere. LiveAuctions.tv, Oklahoma Beef Council, Sullivan Supply, Vita Firm, and SureChamp, and WW Livestock Systems.
And the Supreme Champions, again, will receive an official champion banner provided by Sullivan Supply, a custom pair of courtesy of Rio's Mercedes that can have any logo or anything on the top, and along with a $1,000 credit to Transova Genetics, that will be awarded to each Supreme of the Open female, the Junior female, and the Bull Supreme. And it looks like 2 of the judges have their cards again turned in, and we're waiting on 1 more. And they'll add those up, and the one with the lowest score will be your champion.
Well, and I can see his paper, and I don't know that he has anything even written down yet. So, sure, it's a tough decision, folks, but we got down to the top 6 and need to rank the top 6. And
so the judges were pretty close. You know, they, like I said, they could each pick 5, and there was, 14 out here, and they got it down to 6. So,
yep.
You know, they're kind of seeing them alike.
One different.
Only one different. That is correct.
Yeah.
I think the unique thing about Heritage, and these are big bulls, you know, takes a lot to drag a big bull, as you know, keep them the right
going.
condition, and they've been on this concrete and dirt for a week or 2. And I tell you what, all these bulls are moving really good. They're hitting their stride.
Really sound bulls, you know. All these bulls, I'm sure every one of them, they probably already selling semen out of and been collected and been at stud several times. So get them back, gathered up, bring them to the show. Look like this. It's pretty impressive for these older bulls, and they are.
It looks like they've got them all turned in, Chisholm, and they're going to add them up. So Gerald will get with the judges and tell them, based upon their scores, which one's going to be the winner, and they will walk out and slap the champion bull.
And I believe we're going to get some comments from all the judges again. They did that in both the other drives. We'll see.
As immediately following the selection of our Supreme Champion bull, we will have the judging contest results up in the Cell Pavilion, up in the Cell Arena, and we appreciate all the judging teams that are here and watching this evening. Again, let's give all of our exhibitors as well as our 3 judges a big round of applause as they go out and select the Supreme Champion Bull at the Cattlemen's Congress. Thank you, guys.
Well, what a way to conclude as they get ready to go out and pick it. Like I said, they all ranked them 1 through 6. The one with the lowest score wins.
I think they may try to trick us this time. Looks like they got a game plan. They went straight to him the first 2 times, but we're going to see. They're making the walk
Let
around.
John slap the last one. They going to let John slap the second one?
Of course, he's the senior.
No, that
the
is
most
true.
senior
That is
individual
true.
out there. Seen more in his lifetime than most of them.
You know, he said he'd been judging 50 years, and he's going to be 80. I think it's probably more like 60.
That'd be right, Dustin. Here we go. We're making a long walk.
Well, I don't think it's either going to be the Hereford or the Angus. I doubt they're going to make John walk all the way back down, but.
And.
Well, how about that? Seldom
Rest.
rest. 2
Two
holes,
hold
a
it.
supreme deal at the
Champion
Open
Angus.
Heifer and the Bull, both sired by Conley Express. I'd say that's quite of a feat. That'll be something to be pretty hard to top as we go in the future. So congratulations to Seldom Rest Farms. Had the champion Angus Female Supreme and the champion Bull.
Yeah, let's see if Andrew can do a little bit better
to all of
job
our
of getting the
exhibitors.
picture
A
this
special
time.
thank you to all of our judges this evening.
Well, it was kind of
Good luck
confusing. I
and
seen lots of hands going all
congratulations
kinds
to
of
all of our
ways.
collegiate participants
Well, I think
as
we're
they
going to
head to
sign
the
off
sail
here.
arena.
Folks, it's been a pleasure to be here, and I know it's been a pleasure with my good friend Chisholm. And like I said, the events aren't over through the week. There's still some sales tomorrow. I know the mini Hereford sales tomorrow. Again, the Superior Bell Ringer deal starts here tomorrow at 8 in the morning at the Embassy Suites there on Meridian. You guys have safe travels. We'll see you back here next year at the 2023 Cattlemen's Congress.
Yes, sir, Dustin. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Turn it off when I went talking.
Perfect. Thank you.
Guess I wasn't. You don't like hot mic.